New this morning on Local 6 Today, the latest on the aftermath of Sunday's storms, our continuing coverage just ahead. Plus, an act of greed or an act of compassion, why Walmart needs to defend itself for hosting a food drive. And the outlook for Thanksgiving travelers, what you can expect on both the roadways and the skies next week. Today is Tuesday, November 19th, 2013. Local 6 Today starts right now.
WPSD Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 Today in high definition.
All right, well, yesterday, of course, just a day of sort of figuring what was needed, and today, actually, cleanup will start in a lot of the area that was hit by a tornado on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. And, of course, Marissa is going to be out there at Brookport for the second half of your forecast. We'll talk more about that coming up with our weather on the 6s.
All right, thanks, John. Well, here's what's new this morning. Traveling for Thanksgiving is going to take a little bit longer this year, but it will also cost less, according to a new analysis by a traffic congestion tracking firm. Traffic on the 27th will be up about 3% higher than a year ago. The afternoon rush hour will occur about 2 hours earlier than usual. It'll be at 3 o'clock instead of 5. The analysis says the increase stems from a drop in gas prices. The national average price for a gallon of regular is $3.20 this week. That's about 21 cents less than last year. In fact, an analyst at GasBuddy.com expects to see the cheapest Thanksgiving week prices since 2010. Airlines also expecting to serve more passengers this year. The airline industry trade group Airlines for America says the number of people flying November 22nd through December 3rd could increase by 1.5% over last year to 25 million. That'll mean more people heading to airports on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And the Thanksgiving travel projection is based on the analysis of real-time information from nearly 100 million vehicles on the roads daily, data from the past 2 Thanksgivings, and traffic trends from major holidays this year. Walmart is facing criticism from an advocacy group for holding a holiday food drive. Take a look at this picture posted by a group called Organization United for Respect at Walmart. It was taken at a Walmart store in Ohio. It shows a sign that reads, "Please donate food here so associates in need can enjoy Thanksgiving dinner." The group calls the event an act of greed and says Walmart should increase wages instead. But the company's spokesperson says the food drive shows compassion for employees. JP Morgan Chase and the Justice Department could be making a $13 billion settlement sometime today in relation to its lending practices. A person close to the talk says both parties reached agreement on all issues last night. JP Morgan is taking responsibility for the sales of low-quality mortgage-backed securities that collapsed during the financial crisis. The settlement is the largest ever brought by the U.S. government against a corporation. To what's happening now, we are continuing to survey the damage left by Sunday's storms in the Local 6 area. In the next hour of Local 6 Today, Local 6's Marissa Holloway joins us live from Brookport, Illinois, to take a look at the continuing cleanup and the recovery effort. But first, we want to show you some of the other storm victims, our pets. Project Hope volunteers have teamed up with Massac County Animal Control and the City of Metropolis Animal Control to find all the displaced animals. They are offering shelter and food at a local bar that turned into a shelter overnight. Project Hope President Lauren Ream says all the destruction made her heart ache for the animals displaced by the storms.
Oh, animals are my passion. They always have been. I just want them to feel safe and be taken care of right now, because people don't always realize that it's tragic on the pets as well.
Project Hope volunteers encourage anyone who needs a safe place for their pets to drop them off at the landing strip bar on US 45. And if you'd like to help in other ways, here are some of the items that the volunteers need: dog food, cat food, litter, leashes, cleaning supplies, and dog bowls. The landing strip is also donating free food and coffee to people in need. And here's what's happening next. Former vice presidential nominee John Edwards will be leaving politics to return to law. He released a statement that says he wants to take on cases that change social inequalities through litigation. This is his first step back into the public eye since his acquittal on charges of campaign finance abuse. Those charges followed the revelation that Edwards had fathered a child while having an affair. The former North Carolina senator received the Democratic vice presidential nomination in 2004. Well, New York City's newest regulations for young smokers are expected to become a law today. Mayor Michael Bloomberg plans to sign the measure that bans the sale of tobacco products to anyone under age 21. City health officials hope that raising the legal purchase age will lead to a big decline in smoking rates for young people.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Hey everybody, it's your first weather on the 6s for a Tuesday morning, 4:36 our time, coming up in less than 10 minutes.
Well, just a few months after being acquitted in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman faces a judge again today. We'll explain why he's going back to court. Remember, you're watching WPSD Local 6 Today.
Your breaking news and weather authority with Marissa Hollowed and Weather Authority John Champion. You're watching Local 6 Today in high definition.
Looking ahead this morning, George Zimmerman is scheduled to make his first court appearance today for a domestic disturbance. Zimmerman was arrested yesterday after his girlfriend called police. The woman says Zimmerman broke a table and pointed a long-barreled shotgun at her. In July, Zimmerman was acquitted in the shooting death of Florida teenager Trayvon Martin. A Colorado teen who pleaded guilty to killing a little girl will be sentenced today. Police say Austin Sigg kidnapped, killed, and dismembered 10-year-old Jessica Ridgway last year. But because Sigg was 17 at the time of the crime, he cannot be sentenced to life without parole. He will be eligible for parole after serving 40 years. A Pennsylvania pastor may lose his credentials today in a church trial. The Reverend Frank Schaefer was convicted by a church jury for officiating the same-sex wedding of his son. The church says the act disobeys the Methodist Book of Discipline. Schaefer could have avoided trial if he agreed to not perform any more same-sex weddings, but he refused. 3 of Schaefer's 4 children are gay. Drama returns for a pair of Real Housewives stars. Plus, Demi Lovato is giving fans a taste of serenity. How you can read her story about overcoming addiction is next. And now for today's Wake Up Music, here's Demi's Really Don't Care. In the buzz this morning, Jennifer Aniston turns into an exotic dancer in her latest film. NBC's Raphael Seth has a sneak peek at We Are the Millers in the video view.
NBC News.
All right, 8 singers will make the cut. 2 will go home tonight on NBC's The Voice. Oh, it was another big night of live performances last night, and now it's up to you to decide who gets to go to the next round. You can vote by text message, iTunes download, or the new Twitter Instant Save. We'll find out the final 8 tonight at 8 right here on Local 6. Well, X Factor star Demi Lovato is set to release a new book today. Staying Strong 365 Days a Year is a collection of quotes and daily goals. In it, Lovato opens up about her treatment for addiction. And Jennifer Lawrence is opening up about her struggles as a child. In a recent interview with a French magazine, the Oscar-winning actress revealed she underwent therapy for social anxiety. Lawrence says therapy didn't work, but she later discovered a passion for acting, and that's when her anxieties disappeared. A couple from the Real Housewives of New Jersey will be back in court tomorrow to answer to charges of fraud. Teresa and Joe Giudice will each be indicted on 2 additional fraud charges. Back in July, the 2 were indicted on 39 counts that include conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud, bank fraud, making false statements on loan applications, and bankruptcy fraud. Joe also faces charges of failure to file tax returns from 2004 through 2008. Now here's Jeff Bidwell with sports.
Morning, everybody. I'm Jeff Bidwell with your sports update. Have a great day.
Just about to turn 4:52 in time for our question of the day. And last night, Jeanette, I was at a middle school basketball game, Lone Oak at Ballard, and the little cheerleaders went through the crowd taking up a collection and got a nice collection for Brookport tornado victims.
Isn't that sweet? Well,
It really
sometimes
is, yeah.
tragedy really does bring out the best in all of us. So this morning, we want to hear your feel-good stories that tend to emerge from those kinds of circumstances, the bad circumstances.
Yeah, it is our question today. What acts of kindness have you seen that make you proud? It doesn't have to be contained strictly to Brookport either. Join the conversation on our Facebook fan page.
And we will share your thoughts throughout the morning. All right, coming up in today's viral video, is it a bird or is it a plane?
It may look like a regular plane, but no one can ride in it. We'll tell you why after the break.
Right now, it is 4:52. You're watching Local 6 Today.
It's the holiday season. Well, it's about to be anyway. For some people are already out shopping and looking for toys for their kids.
And while shopping, they are also probably noticing that the toys have greatly progressed over the past few years.
Yes.
They're not even toys anymore. Well, here's an example. This is a remote control airplane that's a lot bigger than what we're used to.
This model is about, we're told, 5 meters long. I guess obviously the metric system it uses here. 6 meters wide. It weighs about 150 pounds. It really looks and flies like a real airplane. Look
Except you can't ride in it.
Right.
And see, if I had a toy like that, I would be wanting to somehow get inside. I don't know.
And you know, when you go to the mall and they're doing those planes that they just throw and they make a big circle and come right back and the guy catches them, this is a little more advanced.
Yeah, and if you crash this one, it could be a little more dangerous for the folks on the ground.
Here's John.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Here's what's new this morning on Local 6 Today. Breaking promises. That's what the National Security Agency may have done for nearly a decade. We have some findings on the agency's surveillance program just ahead.
Plus, moving on. Those are the words from a local superintendent. We'll tell you about his plans next.
And we continue our coverage on the devastation in Brookport. Local 6's Marissa Holloway joins us from the city starting at 5:20. You're watching WPSD Local 6 Today.